Like
So-
if you look at the Google Trends, it's just like this, like the last 2 years.
So, yeah, because people hear like, dude, eat as much bacon and
Yeah,
butter as you
exactly.
can
Yeah.
and get thin and ripped.
Which is like not the best advice for this, but that's like what people hear and they're like, all right, I'm doing keto.
I know, literally. Dude, so for reference, I did keto. I did it for about 8 weeks at the start of this year because I was like, yo, I got to lose some weight, XYZ. Bro, I was eating disgustingly unhealthy. Like, in retrospect, I was eating like 2 hamburgers loaded with blue cheese, butter, sour cream on it, and like 4 eggs.
4 eggs.
And I was just like done with my meal, and I was like, dude, I feel like I'm sick.
Yeah, that's probably taking it overboard, but
and people think you can eat as much as you want.
yeah, I mean that's obviously not true. Like you're not just gonna be eating all day long. People say like calories don't matter. At the end of the day, like not all calories are created equal, but calories matter. Hey, I'm Nick from Keto Brownie, and this is my golden hour.
Water, earth, fire, air. Long ago, the 4 deer nations lived together in harmony. Then, everything changed when the fire deer attacked. Only Derek, master of all 4 elements, could stop those boys. But when Boston needed him most, he vanished into the enchanted golden deer forest.
Season 4.
The clap signifies the start of an
Podcast?
episode. And listen, before we start, I got the Diet Boys in the building. The Diet Boys.
Diet Boys. James was actually going to come out, so that would have been even funnier.
Oh yeah, if we had the 3 Diet Boys in the building. But he isn't keto, right? He just fasts.
No, he does. I'll do intermittent fasting, and he's just like super focused on calories and like macro requirements. So
And looking hot. Keeping
Yeah,
the
he's-
haircut fresh.
yeah, exactly, Captain Clean Cut.
This must be an East Boston thing, bro, because you got a freshie today too.
Yeah, my barber is literally across the street from me, so I like walk out my front door, walk across the street, and walk into a barbershop.
Is he giving that consistent discount or what?
Yeah, I mean I go like every 3 weeks, so
Bro,
probably his best like client.
This is the longest I haven't gotten a cut in like maybe 2 years, and I feel just like a slob. I feel nasty.
Well, you get 2 barbers now. I can hook you up, and you got Nick Testa too, James' brother.
Oh yeah, Nick's the slicer.
Yeah, I think he's actually in Somerville too, not too far from here.
Yeah, me and you'll have to go after this, bro.
Yeah, right.
I gotta grow out a beard first so I can get like you. Hey, Surf Mike, come on up. And today it's not Surf Mike, it's plant-based Mike.
Plant-based Mike.
So, go ahead, just say hi, who you are.
What's up? My name is Surf Mike, but today, plant-based Mike, I'm 100% vegan, and so we got the Diet Boys in town.
The Diet Boys are in the
exciting.
building.
Exciting.
Radiating skin. And so I had told Mike you were coming up because I'm totally fascinated by popular trends in diet.
Uh-huh.
Currently, I'm on a psychotic diet. Lost about 26 pounds of fat.
Okay.
I do 21 to 22 hours of fasting daily, 2-hour meal window, and I'm slightly keto.
Okay.
But Mike's fully plant-based. And so I was like, all right, I guess you could toss in some diet questions in there. Don't worry, we're not like trying to kill you.
Absolutely, man. I'll field anything. Keto, fasting.
Do you want to kind of just give a quick synopsis of who you are and what you do?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Nick Rikuya. I'm founder and creator of Keto Brownie. Basically, I'm currently developing ketogenic snacks. I have 2 keto brownie flavors right now, Blondie Brownie and Chocolate Almond Brownie. I'm also working on 2 new products right now, which I'm hoping to launch within the next 6 to 12 months. I don't want to give any details yet, but I'm super excited about them. They're a lot different from what I have right now.
They're both in the snack space, though.
Yeah, it's all keto snacks, high fat, low carb, low sugar snacks.
And so what was most people, when they start an e-commerce business, it's because they like business, as we were kind of talking about before this. But what was your fixation with like diet and nutrition and snacks?
So it kind of like all came together. I basically joined like an entrepreneurship incubator at the time, and I had just started keto too because I was like 30 pounds overweight, and I was like, all right, like I need to do something about this.
Did you feel gross?
Oh, I felt terrible, man. Like I wasn't even comfortable like sitting down. Like none of my clothes were fitting. I had to like try on like 10 different dress shirts every morning because
Wow.
I was like, this sucks. Like,
How much you weigh right now?
so I'm like at a $155 right now.
So you're like
I was like
190?
180
Wow.
at like 5'8". Like I'm not tall, so like you can imagine.
And so as soon as you got on the diet,
Oh yeah, like 6 months on keto, I dropped like 30 pounds like effortlessly. Like I just followed the diet. I wasn't even like going crazy on like exercise or anything. Just like super strict on the diet, and yeah, man, it just like melted off.
and so did the diet come before the product, or was it at the same time?
It was like almost at the same time. It was actually kind of weird how it happened.
Wow.
But, yeah, I started like the incubator program, and then like I was on keto and just like looking for like business ideas, and I was like, there were no snacks on keto. That was like the toughest part. Like I love all the stuff you can eat on it, but having like something to like satisfy a sweet tooth was like, that's what I needed to like just keep it like sustainable.
I know. At the time, what was a ketogenic option for a snack?
Yeah, so that's the funny thing. Like 2.5 years ago when I started this, there was like maybe 5 companies, and now there's like
A ton.
probably 50.
Because there's like a section in Whole Foods you can go into
Yeah,
now.
like no joke, it like 10x'd in companies over like the last 2 years.
Wow.
But yeah, they had like I think like 1 or 2 bars and like pork rinds and stuff.
I was
But
gonna say you could eat like beef jerky.
yeah, they had
maybe.
beef. It was always beef jerky, like pork rinds, stuff like that. But yeah, it was super limited, and I tried everything because it was like 4 or 5 products. So I like tried them on. I was like, I don't like any of these. Like,
When was the boom in keto being popular? Do you know, Mike? Like,
It's fluctuated throughout history, and it's been relabeled different things.
yeah,
I would say the last 20 years.
but I mean like the
like recently, like probably within the like last like 1 to 1.5 years, it's just kind of exploded.
And so, actually, can you just give a quick synopsis for the uneducated listener on what the ketogenic diet is and
Sure.
why people like it?
Yeah, so ketogenic diet is basically high fat, where like 75 to 80% of your calories come from fat. Moderate protein, so you're getting like 20-25% protein, and then the rest, which is like 5% or less, come from carbs. So it's not like a completely zero carb diet. Like it's almost impossible to eat zero carbs unless you're a carnivore, which is just eating like strictly meat products.
And even in that case, there's still some carbohydrate in your meat, depending on what the animal's eating.
Yeah, but like if you're getting like grass-fed and grass-finished meat and you're carnivore, you're almost like virtually zero carbs, but you're just eating like meat and eggs.
And that's that cholesterol blast.
Yeah, exactly. So you're just eating like meat products all day long, and so yeah, keto's a lot different from that. So you're looking at like 20 to 30 like total carbs per day on keto.
And so, was it an adjustment for you at first, or were you like kind of pretty excited about doing the diet?
No, it was a huge adjustment. Like my whole family's Italian, so you can imagine like
Carb blast.
pasta, bread, like the whole 9. And just my diet, like I was just eating whatever the hell I wanted when I was like 30 pounds overweight. So, and I was just going crazy on carbs. So to go from like probably like 200-300 carbs a day to like 20, it was a significant reduction. So I was basically eating like my entire week of carbs was like probably 1 meal before that.
I'm sure. Is that still a challenge for you now?
No, it's like very easy now. And, like,
Habitual.
yeah, and my body's what they call fat adapted, which is when you're just doing like a ketogenic diet for so long, your body like prefers running on fat versus like carbohydrates. So
And you feel totally slogged down if you have carbs, right?
yeah, if I eat like a heavy carb meal, I'm just like out of commission for like hours after.
I know, dude. When I broke out of keto that one time, it was like, oh my god, you feel so slow.
Yeah, you do. I just get like instantly tired. I'm like crashing and just I'm just like ready for a nap.
So, just remaining diet focused here. What were some of the challenges you had when you had initially started the diet?
So when you go from eating like that many carbs to virtually none, you go through the keto flu.
Fog.
Yeah, keto flu, which is basically just an electrolyte imbalance, because when you start the ketogenic diet, you start peeing like a ton. So when you're doing that, you're excreting like all of your like electrolytes. So if you're not getting salt, potassium, and magnesium, if you're not replenishing that, you're going to feel terrible.
And how long did it last for you? For me, it was like 6 days.
Yeah, I think mine was like 4 or 5 days. It was like a lot of headaches, just feeling like no energy, and
then you
yeah,
break
just
through
sluggish. Yeah, and then you kind of like your body starts producing ketones. You start running on that, and you just kind of like it's just like a 180. You just start feeling like amazing after that.
And so, you had broken through, and one thing I did realize on keto is like once your body starts metabolizing fat really fast, you never hit a lull in your day, like after you eat.
Right.
You know how sometimes I don't know if you feel like this way on the plant-based, but like sometimes you'll eat and then you feel like really tired and like really slow.
Like not personally, but I know what you're.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, is that a benefit to the plant-based? You never feel slowed down?
I feel I have more energy than I've ever had right now.
You're starting to scare me a little bit.
He's ready to come up here and start talking.
I'm fucking pumped.
Too much energy. But yeah, that's because your blood sugar is spiking, your insulin is spiking after you eat carbs. So your insulin shoots up to get rid of all the sugar in your blood, and then it levels back off, and that's what the crash is. So your insulin's just like going up and down all day.
So question, have you ever thought of like, hey, listen, all these diets are awesome, right? We all watch YouTube videos on diet, but what if these dudes who are talking about it are totally just full of shit?
Just full of shit.
And they're just like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of like research, and
I know, but what if the research is false?
the research is false. I mean, I feel like we've been running on like false research this whole time with carbs and sugars, and you need to get so many carbs a day, and just going based on how like I feel like mentally and physically, I think fat's the way.
Tell me about sugars, your thoughts on them, and refined sugars, because me and Mike, this is one thing we will agree on.
What do you guys think of them?
Well, what do you think?
I mean, everything in moderation if like you want to enjoy that like in the foods you eat, but I mean I stay away from it as best as I can, especially in like drinking them. Like if you're putting like sugar in your coffee, or if you're drinking like sodas and stuff, like I feel like that's just super unhealthy, unnecessary. Like I never try and drink calories. So
Yeah, except this is like 5 calories.
yeah, black coffees doesn't even count.
So yeah, but one thing I can definitely say based on experience is I feel profoundly better cutting refined sugars.
Absolutely.
Would you
Yeah,
concur?
absolutely, 100%.
And I actually don't think it's that tough to cut. Mike, do you still eat sweets?
Very occasionally, but most of my carbs come from real foods like vegetables and
Yep.
whole grains, things like that.
So
the insulin doesn't spike quite as much because
Right.
you
Low GI carbs. Yeah.
So you're very high carb.
very high carb. I get 70% of my calories from carbs.
Well,
Okay. And so what would be like one thing that you would be interested in terms of knowing about the keto diet that's kind of like a mystery to you? So Mike's question, great question. He said keto is very popular right now. You can definitely lose a ton of fat on it. That's proven, but is it sustainable?
So yeah, I would say it's definitely a tool too. Like some people like just using it for fat loss or like trying to lean out, so they'll use it as a tool. But I mean, I know tons and tons of people who are doing this for like decades in the ketogenic community. There's people who have brain cancer who are literally have to use it to fight off that cancer. So he's like pretty much ketogenic for life. And then I know tons of like bodybuilders and athletes who swear by it, just been on it for like years and years and years. And there's actually 3 types of keto diets. So people probably don't. Did you know there's 3 types of ketogenic diets?
I know there's the sour cream blaster.
The sour cream blaster.
That's one of them.
That's the special one. That's the 4 one. But basically there's like 3 modified versions. One is standard keto, where you're just keto completely like through. You have like no carbs and
High fat.
you're just running that all the time. There's the targeted ketogenic diet, where this is used more for like performance and athletes. So they'll only eat about like 30 to 50 grams of carbohydrates right before they work out, and that's it. And that's supposed to like dramatically help performance. And then there's what's called the cyclical ketogenic diet, which is your keto for like 5 to 6 days a week, and then you have one day where you consume like a moderate amount of carbohydrates to essentially like carb up and refuel, and then you begin keto right after that. So definitely using like cyclical or targeted once you're fat adapted makes being ketogenic super sustainable if like you want to do it for like long term.
So Mike, do you have any reservations about that, or?
My one reservation is, and you use this phrase fat adaptive, and I don't doubt that you like your body has adjusted to running on fats, but
Ketones.
Yeah.
Glucose is like our most basic preferred form of energy. So like that's why like the things I eat are so easily digestible. Do you ever find that like, or just like how do you feel like about like just eating high fat? Like can we use those efficiently?
Yeah, so ketones are actually the preferred source of fuel for your body and brain. It's and carbs are just like what we're used to. I always say it's like a gasoline tank. Like you're putting carbs in, which is like the lowest grade fuel, and your body's running on that. When you stop putting the carbs in, you drain the tank, and then instead of putting more gasoline in, your body basically produces gasoline. Like it's the highest quality. That's what ketones are. Once there's no carbohydrates present and you're not putting in any like gasoline, which is carbs, your body starts creating ketones. It breaks down the fat, like your body fat, into ketones, and it runs on that. So it's basically like fuel produced by your body.
So also another thing I'm learning about popular diet trends is some just don't work for some people.
Yeah.
And some do. Like I'm interested to try the plant-based and see like how my body interacts with that. You have any rebuke for Nick? Are you pissed?
I'm not pissed at all. My one just curiosity would be, there's a lot of studies about populations of people who are like mostly plant-based.
Can you just?
Yeah. My one thing would be, there's a lot of populations. There's studies about populations where people who eat mostly plant-based live the longest with like the lowest levels of disease. Even people in very poor countries who just live off of grains and rice, things like that, vegetables. Are there any long-term studies that you know of? And I know, like, not that you're a scientist or anything like that, but are there any like population studies of people who are ketogenic that you could speak to?
So I don't know any off the top of my head, but I know recently like there's a lot more focus on like the longevity research and like how keto really impacts people over like lifetime periods. So unfortunately I don't know anything off the top of my head, but
my one
yeah,
curiosity.
that's like big question in the keto community. Is like, is this like good like long term?
Is it just a trend or yeah?
Yeah, there's a lot of people who are saying like, is this like healthy super long term? But it's interesting because there's a lot of like doctors now who are like all about keto, and there's one, Ken Berry, and he basically is just like trashing all doctors and saying like they don't know what they're talking about. Like he published a book called Lies Your Doctor Told You. So like he's all about keto and like trying to prove like as a medical doctor like how this impacts people.
One wild thing that I had recently learned is that when you're getting your medical degree, doctors get like 1 week of nutrition education. That's
Really?
literally it.
Wow.
Like if it's not their focus. And a lot of people are saying like, dude, doctors should know what we're putting in our body and the profound effects it has.
Right.
So it's just interesting, and I'm wondering like how diet trends will change over time too.
Yeah.
But one thing I do fuck with, excuse my language, one thing I do like about you is that you're not like telling anybody to jump on the diet.
Yeah, no, man. I like different diets work for different people. Like if you can commit to something and like make it sustainable, like that's the diet for you. Like I'm not pushing keto on anybody. If you want to try it, like I love keto, so go for it.
And try Keto Brownie.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if you're not on keto,
I know
try
some
Keto
good.
Brownie.
Yeah, there's only like 1.3 grams of sugar in these things, so you can eat one of those.
Could I have one?
You can eat one on air.
No,
Alright.
I'm fasting.
You're just gonna look at it. Yeah, the fast. He's got the fast going.
Yes, sir. Good for you, man.
Yeah. So I started with one flavor, and then came out with that second
These
flavor.
are dense. Mike,
Yeah,
do you want to try one?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Save it for after the show.
Well, this would be
Coffee and keto
Wouldn't
brownies.
this be vegan?
There's gonna be milk in that.
Yeah, there's some milk-based ingredients in here, so.
There's some almond meal.
Some-
So, how did you know that this would be a good concoction in terms of ingredients for a product? Like, who did you work with? Scientists or?
So yeah, it's just a lot of trial and error. Nutritionists, manufacturers have like recipe formulators and stuff on hand, so it's just a lot of trial and error, basically testing what tastes good and then looking at the macronutrients in the ingredient label and seeing like best nutrition facts for a ketogenic diet. And then also the big thing with keto products is how it impacts your ketones and your blood sugar. So
there must have been a lot of just like, were you in a lab a lot or?
I mean, it was basically what happens is you can like test the ketones in your blood. So they have like the finger prick that you just like prick your finger and then put the blood sample into a meter, and it literally measures the amount of ketones in your blood.
Is that more effective than the pee strip?
Yeah, that's the highest. That's like the most effective method for testing ketones.
Word.
So people in the keto community kind of going crazy now. They're like pricking their finger like every day, like several times a day, and it's just like
relax.
Yeah,
dude.
at that point it's probably doing more harm than good, but it's
People are just like bleeding out.
yeah, but it's really good for like testing how products impact you. So like you'll test your ketones. You can eat like one of these, and then you test your like ketones and blood sugar after, and you'll see how the product's impacting your blood levels.
So question though, when you were initially creating the product, so you say, hey, okay, I'm gonna do Keto Brownie. I'm in this incubator. So who do you reach out to? Some sort of like food lab and say, okay, I want to create this product, or because I'm assuming you have a business background. You don't really have a
So I had
science
no
background, right?
nutrition science background. I actually started baking in my kitchen, just kind of looked at recipes online, and that you basically have a good idea of like what ingredients are keto.
You were making some weed brownies.
Exactly, yeah. Some hemp ones, some CBD ones, but
That's your next business.
yeah, it is. That's what
because that's popular right now too.
everyone keeps telling me. Put CBD in them, and I'm just like, yeah, it's a big
you and
hurdle to
plant-based
jump.
Mike can work on that.
Yeah, right. I'll outsource that to you. But what was the question now?
When you had initially started the product, were you like going to labs or?
So just basically working with like recipe formulators and nutritionists, and just putting together the nutrition panel and then seeing how it like impacted my blood levels, and I sent it to other people who are on keto and got their feedback too, like how's this impacting blood sugar and ketones.
So what was first for you though? Was it taste first, nutrition first? What was most important?
So for me, taste was first, because I basically started because, like I said, I couldn't find anything that tasted good at the time. So I was like, all right, I just want to make something that tastes good. And like when people eat it, they're like, oh wow, this is keto. Like that's what I was going for. So taste was one, and then how it impacts blood levels.
Word.
Obviously number two, and ingredients, stuff like that.
And so you were initially talking about off air that you had started in corporate, hated its guts.
Yep. Yeah, so accounting background. I went to school for 5 years and did my CPA, and then went into public and corporate accounting for.
Surf Mike, my fault. You guys just, hey, look, you guys didn't kill each other.
Hey, good to meet you, man.
Respect you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, just elaborate on kind of your startup.
So how I started, or basically like what I was doing at the time?
Yeah, exactly. This was more of a, you started out of feeling stifled.
Yeah, I started out of basically hating my job and hating my everyday. So, I just didn't like accounting at all. I kind of got stuck in something I didn't want to do. I tried out like several companies, several different roles within those companies, and just hated it. Hated all the work, hated the corporate culture. I kind of grew up in like entrepreneur family. So my family runs like a construction blue collar business. So I grew up working in that. And my parents never went to college. My parents never had 9-to-5s. So when I got a 9-to-5, like the first day, I was like, what the hell is this? Like,
This is terrible.
This is terrible. Like, I'm not used to seeing this. Like, my parents were always like around and stuff. I was always helping them with the
Were
business.
you always kind of independent too?
Yeah, I mean, I always kind of knew I wanted to start my own business. I just never knew what I wanted to do or how to do it. And so, like, I remember the first day, like, at work, I was just like, I hate this. And, like, that day, the only thing I could think about is, like, how do I get out? Like, I could never just, like, focus on my job and, like, trying to be good at being, like, a CPA. I just hated it. And I was like, there's just no way I'm doing this for 40 years.
So what initially drew you to being a CPA, though? The money? Like, you knew
So I basically didn't know what I wanted to do. Like, I was good at accounting. I like numbers and I like business. So I was like, all right, this is, like I'm pretty good at accounting. Like, and then, job security. I was like, no doubt I'm getting a job, like, with an accounting degree. I can probably learn about business and stuff. So that was my thinking at the time when I was like a 19, 20-year-old. So made the best decision I could at the time from like what I thought.
I know. I think about that with colleges all the time. The fact they make you bind into a major as soon as you show up. Like, dude, give the kids at least like a 2-year window to figure it out, kind of what they like in school.
Exactly.
Were you good academically?
I mean, I was pretty good. I had like decent GPA and stuff. Like,
It totally didn't interest you though, right?
School?
Yeah. I
liked learning, but like I didn't have a problem with school. I like learning and like the social atmosphere and all that stuff. So school was cool. Like, but as soon as I got into like, and I liked accounting in school. Like I like learned about it in school. So, but just the way it was applied in like the real world was terrible. You're just like doing the same repetitive work day after day, and depending on where you work, the hours were ridiculous without even like a really good pay. So.
Yeah, and you can't necessarily. This is at least what a lot of my friends say. They don't even see the impact they're having on the company.
Yeah, you don't. You're like one of like 100,000 employees. Like quite literally one of like 55,000 employees
just
doing
spoke in
this.
a wheel.
Yeah, you're just a spoke in a massive machine. You never see the impact. the growth is like super limited. Like,
But they're saying, hey, we'll pay you, and you can go take like 2 months of or like 6 weeks of vacation.
yeah, I mean, the pay isn't even that good, and
This is better.
yeah, this is better. And then, yeah, the vacation, I mean, yeah, it's nice to have like 3-4 weeks off a year, but you need it when you're working 80 hours a week, like
Yeah.
doing those jobs. Like, you just need that time off.
So, I kind of feel like, so you're like kind of fat, right? You're working a whack job, and then the diet comes along, and then the business comes along, and just like your life totally changes.
Yeah, so yeah, I
That's
was
crazy.
fat, and I was hating my job, and then probably being fat because of my job. But
I was gonna say, well, it's a whole lifestyle.
yeah,
thing,
it's a whole
right?
lifestyle. Like, I was literally working like 14 to
You're
16 hours
unhappy.
some day, unhappy, like didn't want to go to the gym, stuff like that. Couldn't really have an impact on nutrition when you're just at a desk for literally 16 hours a day. But yeah, I started the incubator, and I started keto like pretty much at the same time, and at that point it was just kind of like off to the races. I started working when I got home at night, so I get home at like 5:36, just worked till I went to bed. Worked all day Saturday and Sunday, worked holidays for like the first year and a half, and did that, and then quit my job about a year ago.
Yeah. So, when you had started your business, because this is kind of something I'm facing right now, like I'm very, very obsessed. For better or for worse, did you at the start feel very spread thin, getting everything going, or like I have to be on top of everything? Because I also feel like your demeanor is like you kind of a controlled dude.
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning, there wasn't that much to do yet because I didn't have a product. Sorry.
Take your time, bro.
Yeah, I didn't have a product at the time, so that was just my main focus. Like, I wasn't worried about marketing or sales or growing a social media page or anything like that. It was like, okay, I need to get a product. So I was head down for 6 months just making one product, like pretty much not doing anything other than that. Just getting like trials of samples made, getting the product design, getting all the packaging made, stuff like that, getting the product ready to be, put out into the market. So that was my main focus at the time, and I was so new to it too. I was just like, all right, like
Just day by day.
yeah, just day by day, just step by step. Had a job at the time, so like security was still there
Yeah.
for like finances, so I wasn't like crazy
You were
stressed.
still at your desk, probably just working on Keto Brownie.
I can't say that, but I was thinking about it all day long. That's for sure. I was just waiting to punch the clock and go home and work on something I really wanted to work on, which was just easy to stay like motivated and dedicated. But yeah, once I got it launched, and then like I had to start doing like marketing, sales, building audiences, stuff like that. It started getting a little crazy, but I just kept my head down and like still worked through that for like 6 to 8 months while I had a job. And then after like a year and a half in business, like I could see the potential was there, that I was basically losing money staying at my job. So quit my job, and yeah, that was about 16 months ago. Just been
Good for you, man.
Just been working on it since, just growing it, working on new products, and yeah, it's fun. Like, I love doing it. E-commerce is amazing. Just the potential for like the amount of people you can reach, and like
The money you can make.
the money you can get the product into so many people's hands. There's a lot.
Especially if it's a good product.
Exactly, yeah. If you focus on just making a good product, like, you can pretty much bomb everything else and still have a chance.
Yeah,
Because
I've been thinking that too, though. But for instance, I think that this is above and beyond the best podcast in Boston.
oh, absolutely.
Sometimes, in terms of like this focus, but I still have to focus actively on marketing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, absolutely. It's not, you don't think you need it for sure, but in like a case of like a physical product, at least, like if you make a good product and you get into some people's hands, they love it, they spread it, and then
Mm-hmm.
word of mouth can like kind of rapidly grow your business. But yeah, I mean, good product and good marketing is like the ideal combo.
So, question: most people when they start a business, they have a strength
Mm-hmm.
in terms of what they're good at.
Absolutely.
You have an accounting background. Was it tough for you to start acquiring like a marketing sense, a finance sense, a management sense?
So marketing is still like the thing I struggle with most.
Let me help, man.
Yeah,
I'd
right?
love to.
And that's like where I'm putting all of my focus right now. But yeah, I mean, everyone's got strengths and weaknesses. So my strength was obviously like business, tax, finance. So I love doing like cash flow, and like I'm awesome with like timing, like inventory, when I need to
Budget.
buy, budget, all that stuff, like ad spend, return on investment. Like, I crush all that stuff, obviously, just based on my background. But yeah, I was like terrible at marketing. Like, I didn't know how to do ads. I didn't know how to do emails. I didn't know how to do.
Do you know how to sell? Like
Like
give us
just sales.
in a sense? Yeah. You
I'd
pick it up over time, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm better now after a couple of years doing it. Like, I know the product benefits. I know like my target audience. I know like what they're struggling, pain points. So, I've tried to like study a little bit about psychology on selling and stuff like that. But I'd say sales and marketing wasn't my strong point. Still probably isn't. So, but yeah, everybody has.
I think you're doing great, man.
Thanks, man. But hopefully sales are just shooting up right now
Yeah.
as I'm on here.
Let's hope.
Yeah, but yeah, everyone's got strengths and weaknesses, and when you get to the point where you can start like hiring stuff out, that's awesome because you can start
Do
like.
you have a team yet?
No, it's still just me. I mean, I have a graphic designer because I can't draw a stick figure to save my life.
Yeah.
So, graphic designer who makes all of like the wrappers and the product boxes, who helps me with like images on ads and social media. I have an awesome photographer, a good buddy of mine, who takes like insane like magazine style pictures.
Word.
And so yeah, I'll like hire stuff out when I need it. If I need like someone to write blog content and stuff like that, I'll hire that out. But pretty much just me, a manufacturer, and that's it.
Do you think you could operate well in terms of having employees? Like, because some people I've started to notice, like I actually feel like I'm better when I can run and operate a team.
Yeah.
Some people are better just focusing on themselves.
Right.
Like a solopreneur
Yeah.
type thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all preference, and then probably a combination of like your strengths and weaknesses. Like if you need to like hire something out, but
I can't edit. I can't sit down and edit.
yeah,
so
like
work
I
with
can't
editors.
do any of that stuff at all. Take videos, edit stuff, photography, like anything creative. I like have no concept, or I can't do
You're the
any.
money guy.
Yeah, I
You're
just
the
like
numbers
like
guy.
numbers is my strong suit, and I'm getting like pretty good at like ads and stuff like that. So generating like building audiences and communicating with them. So that's like what I'm focusing on. But I think at some point I'll probably have to start hiring some help. But for right now, I just love kind of just doing my own thing, and that's the beauty of it. Like the fact that you can even do this basically like by yourself.
It's
So,
awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, it's just me and you in here, right?
Yeah. That's what I mean.
It's pretty wild. So, a lot of people, this was a question I had with James too, because he's in the nutrition space.
Yep.
A lot of people start up businesses, I feel, and they just want to build them for like 10, 20 years, make them big and sell them. That's
Yep.
like the goal for a lot of business
Yeah.
people. Like that's a lot of people's purpose. Like I just want to start something, build something, and sell it. Is that ultimately your goal, or? I know it's tough to say because you're backing your product so heavy.
Yeah. I mean, there's like basically two kinds of businesses when you're running these things. It's like a cash flow where it's something where you can just like keep going and live off the money that you're making. So you can essentially just run it and like pay yourself comfortably, and that's kind of like your lifestyle business. And then there's kind of what I'm doing is I'm not really like going crazy on paying myself. I'm just like reinvesting everything and growing. And yeah, eventually I plan on selling like down the road.
Yeah, I mean that's like most business
Yeah.
people, like doing stuff like that. And do you ever worry sometimes that the keto diet will become less popular, and that a lot of your success, not even as you, is based on the fact that
It's on keto.
It's trendy.
Yeah. So I get that question a lot, and I always answer with, there's always going to be like that baseline of people who do keto. Like everybody who does keto now loves it and has success on it. They're not just going to one day wake up and be like, all right, keto's over. Like this trend's over. Like there's always going to be that core group of people who are on keto.
What if, again, not trying to skew, what if one day a study comes out, it's like, dude, keto literally gives you a heart attack?
Then yeah, I'm probably screwed.
You going straight to Costa Rica, bro.
Yeah,
You gotta be out.
That's the day I'll probably start working on another business.
No, I would move. You're getting sued, bro.
That's true. Me and a lot of other companies.
Yeah, I'm sure. So, one thing that also interests me about the James interview, I'm on fire with the questions.
No worries, man. Keep them coming.
Listen, I feel great about the business questions. One thing James had said is he was like, I actively want to get into wholesalers' hands like all the time. So is that like a week-to-week thing for you? Like you want to hit up wholesalers like a Whole Foods or a Trader Joe's, XYZ, and say, hey, I want to sell my product in your stores?
Yeah, so going retail is like a different animal. So e-commerce is awesome because I'm just basically getting this right into the end customer's hands. It's the most profitable, it's the easiest, and going retail is just like a different beast. So you essentially need like tons and tons of inventory. You need to be able to like give them inventory and wait like 2 months to get paid. So it's like a big cash flow thing.
What's the benefit to doing it? Is there any?
I mean, just crazy volume. Like if you pick up like a GNC or a Whole Foods or a CVS, you're probably getting like 20, 30, 40,000 boxes picked up at once. So that's the benefit.
Wow.
And then just like basically like brand equity too, being able to say like KetoBrownie's in Whole Foods, CVS, so that and it helps with potential valuation and buyout. So if you want to sell down the line, hey, my product's in CVS, like that's a big thing. So
exactly, just like I got the biggest podcast in
yeah,
Boston.
exactly. You got to go check out this podcast too.
Exactly. There's what are MCT oils? Because that seems like that's essential.
Yeah, so MCT, medium chain triglycerides. That's
that's what Thomas Lauer always talks about.
Yeah. He's got like crazy scientific videos on that. You probably won't even understand what's happening after you watch one of those videos. But
you gotta get him a Keto Brownie though, man.
I know he's a tough guy to reach, but Thomas Lauer, if you're watching this, let me know if you want some Keto Brownies. But
we'll send him a clip.
Yeah, exactly. But MCTs are basically like oils or powders that you can take, and it's like instant energy. So I just put it in Keto Brownie with my reformulation. It's the highest quality MCT you can get. Basically, I was just using like the raw powder as testing, and it's insane. Like you take a scoop of this, and it's all natural too. And like within 5 minutes, you're like insanely focused and energized.
No way.
Yeah, it helps produce ketones, so you can take it and it boosts your ketone levels. So you're just feeling like amazing. Like,
so you eat, this is like edible Adderall.
I wouldn't call it that, but MCT is pretty amazing. Like it's like instant energy. It works better than like coffee, anything like that. Like if you're taking it, you're feeling like a significant mental like performance boost within like minutes. It's actually insane how fast it kicks in.
So I'll also be interested to hear, I asked James this and it was interesting, but what is your day-to-day running in e-commerce?
Yeah, so it definitely varies based on like what product I'm working on or like what my focus is that month. Or
just because a lot of people, when they think of an e-commerce business, they think of like make $1 million from your home and just sit behind your laptop.
Yeah, I mean that's just bullshit. Like that's not e-commerce. Social media ruins that. Like you'll see like 18-year-olds like throwing hundreds and like sitting on Ferraris and like in the wall in like a pool or somewhere. Like that's not entrepreneurship or e-commerce. So if you see that,
not real.
Don't believe that, and don't go into entrepreneurship because it's like brutal.
Yeah.
It's like the hardest thing I've ever done. It's super challenging. Like it's stressful.
Yes,
like,
sir.
it's basically just solving problems every single day, all day long, and like dealing with issues. So that's what it is. Don't believe those crazy Instagram ads you get hit with.
It is so validating though when you catch wins, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's so dope.
What do you, like the actual?
Well, yeah, like running your own business. It's
Yeah.
like you feel like all you're doing all day is just like taking care of problems. But then when you catch a win, you're like, dude, this is fire.
It's like the most accurate picture if you ever seen of the life of an entrepreneur. It's just like the crazy like up and down. Like I've never seen a more accurate picture. Like I've had like swings where like the morning I'm like, all right, that's it. Like I'm selling this business.
Over.
Like I'm done with this. And then like I'll pick up like a wholesale client and I'll be like, wow, this is amazing. Or like I'll get like a really cool customer review said like they love the products or like it helps them with diabetes or something. You're like, cool, like this is worth it. Like I'm making a difference. Like definitely worth it.
So what was your, just can you give a rundown?
Oh, day to day.
Yeah.
So I basically do the power list as well, what James was talking about.
That Andy Frisella
life. And yeah, that podcast was super useful because I was feeling like just
the win the day.
Yeah, the win the day, the power list. I think he has a couple on it, but yeah, I was just always because when you run your own business, you can work 24 hours a day if you want. Like it's unlimited amounts of work. Like you can always find something to do. That you can always like, cool. I like this ad's working well. Can it be better? Like maybe I should try like split testing it and doing this. So you can definitely just work all day long every day if you wanted to. So obviously that's not healthy or productive. So I use the power list, which is like 3 to 5 critical tasks every day that I need to get done, whether that's like working on the big project that's broken down into daily tasks, or if that's just like set up 5 ad campaigns today, or like get this email queued up to be sent. So basically just pick like 3 to 5 things that you know will help grow your business and like move it forward. So that's like the best way to combat trying to do everything.
Yeah. And one thing, I'm familiar with it. One thing I think's totally valuable about it is like you want to set things for yourself that push you out of your comfort zone, because you know that's probably where the growth is going to come from.
Absolutely. Yeah, doing the really difficult things and focusing on stuff you probably don't even know how to do yet is like the untapped space.
And it's smart. It's like really, really smart. That dude's a beast. Andy Frisella's a
Yeah,
beast,
yeah,
bro.
he's unbelievable. The
Tell-
podcast is unreal. I don't really listen to many podcasts. I listen to like 3 podcasts, and that's one of them. So
And you're pissed after you listen.
yeah, I'm just motivated.
Let's go!
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, he fires people up. Like
Yeah.
he's great at that.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
connecting with his audience and like teaching the truth basically. And
I might start to do that on here.
you should.
Just wake the fuck up.
Yeah.
So
Friday Fire right now.
yeah, why
Episode
not?
1.
So what so the product is also gluten free.
Yep.
Was that a move as a business person to incentivize another niche market?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, where you can, you want to hit on as many things as you can just to get a wider range. I mean, you don't even have to be keto. Like if you're just trying to cut sugar out of your diet, these things only have like 1.3 grams like per serving. So you can eat one of these and you're getting like less than 2 grams of sugar and
8 grams of protein.
yeah, quality protein,
That's a
whey protein
solid
isolate.
snack.
Yeah, protein, very very low sugar, and it's all like healthy fats. You're not eating like garbage, like hydrogenated oils and stuff like that. Like there's MCT in there. You know, it's like almond meal, almond butters, almonds. It's all like healthy fats. You're not like getting any crap in there.
Quick question on the soy lecithin though, because soy is a
Yeah, that's a
pretty contentious topic.
that's a mixing agent. So it's actually technically not soy.
Well, I used to be allergic to soy. I outgrew all my allergies, so like 4 years ago, I couldn't even eat this. I was allergic to tree
Yeah.
nuts. Why does it say may contain tree nuts? I've always wondered that.
Yeah, it's just like a legal disclaimer that manufacturers have to put on labels if their facility also processes things with like tree nuts and stuff. So,
But they
but
like-
these actually have tree nuts in them, so it's required for this.
Oh, it is-
There's almonds in there, so
Oh, word. Okay.
yeah. So that's a required for me. But you'll see that on other products that don't have like almonds or peanuts or anything like that. It's just a legal disclaimer.
So what when you were making this product and there are all these ingredients like disodium phosphate, silicone dioxide, all these chemicals.
Yeah, so that's actually brand new, and that's just what's in the medium chain triglyceride. So that's what's in their MCT blend.
Okay.
But yeah, that's like the highest quality MCT you can get.
Word. But were you ever like, maybe I'll just try to keep it completely organic?
Yeah, I mean, like, I agree. Like, seeing that on the label is kind of like, whoa, at the first glance. But MCTs are just like unbelievable, and they're so popular in keto that like, from like a product standpoint and like staying competitive, you like almost have to have MCTs in your product at this point. So
I feel you. So were you pumped when you like went to patent and trademark and Keto Brownie was?
yep. I mean, I have KetoBrownie.com, so that should tell you something. Like, go and try buy any keto domain right now. Good luck. Like,
Damn,
they're all taken. So the fact that I have KetoBrownie.com and 2 trademarks on my name is like
That's fire.
proof that I was kind of here before a lot of people.
We love that. And how do you interact with your consumer?
Yeah, so so social media for sure. I'm like big on email marketing, so I'm talking to a lot of customers through email and like Facebook DMs. Like, I'm gonna start Facebook groups soon, so I'll be having a lot of people in Facebook groups just kind of talking about their keto journey, just putting out content for them.
This is great. Your website looks amazing.
Yeah, I actually did that myself.
Would you use a GoDaddy server?
Shopify.
It's
It's Shopify.
all
Yeah.
Shopify?
Yeah, it's all Shopify. Shopify is probably the best if you're trying to run an e-commerce business, so would highly recommend Shopify.
Oh, you were on Joe Rogan?
I got a quick shout out on Joe Rogan.
Nice,
Yeah.
bro.
Unfortunately, they talked about another keto company right before mine, and they like had this set up and they pulled up their website and stuff, so they got like the bulk of the PR. But
What did they say about yours?
so Dom D'Agostino, which is like he's like one of the best like researchers and stuff. Actually, yeah, he's right there on keto. I got my product into his hands super early on in the process.
Nice.
And he liked it. He also did a bunch of like lab testing and stuff on it to see how it was impacting ketones and stuff like that. And
he loves it.
Yeah, his wife loved it too, and he said she's like the litmus test for like keto snacks. Like if it tastes good to her, then it's good to go.
Dope.
So she loved it, and yeah, he basically you can go watch the clip. You can just click that button, and it just says basically just says that she liked it. So he's
We'll
like,
take it.
yeah, we'll take it, right?
Absolutely.
So-
Bro. That's awesome. So what, in terms of keeping your product in a competitive space, keeping your product more attractive than other keto snacks, like what's some of the things you try to do?
So
I mean, new products, I'm sure.
yeah, like new products is now my focus. and then probably eventually another flavor or two on these. So just kind of doing like unique flavors, stuff that's not out there, and just trying to make it as different as possible. Like I feel like my product has such a different like taste and texture compared to like any other keto snack you can get out there. So yeah, man, just making it like, and I've reformulated it a few times now too, so it's not like set in stone. It's just not just like, all right, this is it forever. Like I've gone through like a few reformulations, just trying to keep improving the product.
Do you ever do like go hire someone to go set up at a Whole Foods and like do samples? Is that effective?
So I've done that a few times, like locally here with like some CrossFit events and stuff like that, and it's great to like just like interact with people and kind of get away from a laptop for a bit. So it's great for that. But
I know, is this nice for you? Having a
yeah,
conversation?
it is. Yeah, having a conversation with a human being. Yeah, it's nice to like see people for a day.
I feel you, bro.
Yeah, that's like the going. I mean,
that's the worst.
That's the worst part of entrepreneurship. Is it's so true. You're so isolated. You're so lonely. Like all of the days is just me working in my, and unfortunately, like my setup is like in my bedroom too. So like
you just don't leave the crib.
Yeah, I just never leave my apartment.
Yeah,
I try and go to like coffee shops and stuff, but it's not the same. It's not like you're at a job where like you know all these people and you're like having interactions and you're like going to lunch with them and stuff. Like sure, I'm like physically sitting in a space where people are walking around, but it's not like the same effect. Yeah,
I totally feel you, bro.
So yeah, that's 100% the worst part. So that's why I like when I started linking up with James, it was awesome because I was like, all right, like he's doing the exact same stuff. He like thinks the same way I do.
Both fresh haircuts.
Yeah, fresh cuts, and having someone. He's Boston boys. So having someone like that's awesome to just kind of collab with, work with, pretty much doing the same stuff or like in the same space, just not keto. But
see, I'm actually the same way. Like I feel isolated a ton.
Yeah.
With the show, and it's interesting because like the leverage of the podcast is like I talk to people. Yeah, exactly. But then outside of this, it's like it's
you're
not
by yourself. Yeah.
But I similarly, I don't know if you met Anabolic Aliens or you've seen any of his stuff.
No, I've seen a few though, because James.
Yeah,
James
he's a psycho. But that's one thing that it's nice about working with him is that he is the same. Like he's trying to build his own thing. Yeah. He's a psycho and he gets it.
No, I mean it's just the reality, man. You're like not going to a lot of social things too because you're like focused on this stuff.
Yeah,
so
do you booze? Do you go out or?
Nah, like rarely anymore.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, I'm just like so focused on like doing this, and like this is like pretty much where all my attention is going. So I'm trying to be like as optimal as I can from like a
production standpoint.
Yeah, so like if if I'm going out the night before, like I'm not gonna feel well the next day or productive. So you're losing a whole day, and that's just pointless. Like you're not like if you're trying to run a business, like social life is back burner, I think.
And you need the momentum is so important.
The momentum's huge. Like if you're just
because if you throw, that's the way I feel. Like I got smacked up on my birthday in December, dude. And I felt like debilitated and totally unfocused 3 days after.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And when you're on keto, like the hangovers are the worst thing ever.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's like 10 times worse. Like you can have like 1 or 2 drinks and you'll feel like you just like on like a week-long binge drinking vacation.
Dude, could you do a keto like cocktail? Is that even a thing? That would be fire.
I don't think so, but probably not something.
Let's develop it.
Yeah, right?
Man. I'll
keto
do all the
cocktail.
marketing.
All right.
I'd love to.
I'll get on that product right after I leave here. I'll start some research and development on that.
Hey, can I take these?
Yeah, I brought them for you.
Oh, fire.
You think I brought them just to sit on the table and take them home?
I have new gear coming in.
Awesome.
I don't have it today, but I'll shoot out to EC and I'll get you a shirt. I don't mind.
Sounds good, man. Yeah, you can definitely keep these. These are for you.
Fire.
You and the crew.
Nice.
That way when you're lonely working, you can at least have a good tasting snack.
Exactly. I'm also being dramatic. I do talk to people.
Yeah. For a living.
Yeah. Literally. So one more quick question.
Sure.
Actually, I got a couple quick questions.
Dissecting the ingredient label.
Well, I know. I'm just interested. So I'm currently like pretty paleo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty psychotic about my diet. I want to work this into my paleo diet.
Okay.
It doesn't necessarily sit into it.
Yeah.
Will I feel that like that lull if I eat this with the paleo, do you think? Or
I mean, it's so hard to say. Like, everyone's body's different. They react differently to different ingredients.
Well, I mean, I'll try it today.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I would just give it a shot and, like, see how you feel. But, like, I can eat them and just feel, like, really good. So that's, like, the whole point, basically, when you're on keto. If you want to just try and get, like, something that's, like, satisfying.
Fire.
You can have it and not feel terrible after, yeah.
So do you fast, too, ever? Or?
Yeah, I fast all the time.
Intermittent daily?
daily.
Me too, man.
Yeah. I'm all
What's your
about-
window?
So right now I'm doing like, I'll fast for like 18 to 20 hours.
Oh, so you're psycho like me.
Yeah.
I always knew you were nutso, bro.
People are like, dude, you have an eating disorder. I'm just like, no, man, I probably eat more calories than you do. It's just like,
But you're mad productive, right?
oh, it's unbelievable. Like the fact that you can just wake up and like not have to worry about food and like stopping to eat and then like crashing from what you ate and then like trying to get your energy back.
And your cognition's quicker.
Oh yeah, it's
And it segments your day better.
super focused. Like, and that's what I hated about corporate world too, is like you have to eat when like everyone else is eating. So like I wasn't even hungry at like 11:30 and people are like, all right, let's go to lunch. And I'm like, what? Like I'm not hungry. Like I don't even really want to break. Like I was just kind of getting in the groove. But yeah, right now I'm just like, I'll start working right around like 7:30, 8 whenever I get up. No breakfast, no lunch. And I'll just work from like 8 to, I'll try and do like 8 to 2, go to the gym for an hour, come back, eat, and work like a few more hours after that. So that's kind of my schedule right now.
And when do you stop eating at night?
I mean, depends like when I like broke the fast and all that for timing, but I never eat usually after 8 p.m. Usually like 6:30 cutoff to like if I want to extend the fast the next day, I'll do like 6 p.m.
That's that fasting hack, which I picked up recently, which I think got me pretty lean, was just cutting off the meals much sooner in the night.
Yeah.
If you cut off at around like 7 at the latest, and then you ramp it up to 2 the next day.
Yeah, you're basically looking at 18 to 20 easy.
Well, so I've been fasting for like 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Changed my life.
Yeah.
Like, real talk in terms of getting stuff done, being productive, being focused. But I noticed when you really ramp up your fat loss, that's one thing about keto for me is like I feel like I kind of got the same benefit from just going much more extreme on the fast.
So like fasting and keto are like brother and sister almost. Basically when you're fasting,
Your body's producing ketones.
exactly, and you have like insulin isn't going nuts because you haven't eaten anything, so you're not getting like crazy. Your blood sugar is just like perfectly stable all day long, and that's the same with keto, except you just eat food and your like blood sugar stays stable.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like almost one and the same, except fasting you're not eating, and then keto you are eating, but like,
Eating a lot.
the metabolic response is like very
much the
similar.
same.
Yeah.
It's very
So that's like kind of so like intermittent fasting and keto is like a cheat code almost.
yeah, you're just like Superman.
Yeah, I would say so.
One thing I do notice though is I think it would be much more beneficial to make gains in the gym if you're
Not keto.
and not fasting.
Not
as
fasting.
heavy.
I feel like I get stronger when I'm fasted. Like I have a great fasted workouts, so
Well, I also lift very early, and so
Okay.
maybe when you're at the peak of your fast, because you're at the peak of your fast.
pretty
when you lift,
much,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm usually because I lift at like 6 a.m. Usually 6 a.m. And so maybe it's just like a tired thing.
Yeah, that could be it.
Who knows though? What would your peak lean be weight wise?
So I got bod pod tested last summer, and I was like 12.1%, which is like insanely low for me. But I'm trying to get to like 9% now. I want to get like single digit, just to like say I was single digit body fat.
What is the bod pod test?
It's like a giant egg. It's like the most accurate way to measure your body fat percentage.
It's like a DEXA scan.
So DEXA scan is like you're laying flat like on a table and you go like underneath the thing. This one is like it's like a giant egg, and you like you just like sit in it for like 30 seconds.
It's just like scans around
it
your
just
body.
yeah, it just like it basically just does the scan and then they give you like a printout, and it breaks everything down, like your total mass, your total weight, body fat percentage, lean mass percentage, like how many calories you need, stuff like that.
And so did you feel lean at the 12.1?
I mean, I felt pretty good for like how I've always been. Like
Yeah.
I was like happy with it. I
You
was
were
like,
a load,
yeah.
bro.
I was like, yeah, I'll take it. So yeah, I was happy with that, and like,
You feel like you get leaner?
yeah, but I feel like at this point I'd have to like go pretty nuts. Like I'd have to be super strict, and I'd have to probably hit the gym like 5 times a week or something.
Yeah, that's
Like-
what's going on with me.
Yeah, I'm kind of like I'm at a point where I can easily just maintain this like forever. Like
Yeah.
I'm
And it doesn't feel like
yeah, it doesn't feel like a
burden.
chore. Yeah, like I'm just eating what I have to eat. I fast, and like I'll hit the gym 3 times a week, and like that's perfectly comfortable. Like works with my schedule. Like I'm not like
no cardio.
not really. I mean, I'll play soccer. Like I'm big into soccer in the summer, so I'll grab some soccer, and I go for like tons of walks and stuff like that to break up the day too. So, but yeah, I don't love cardio.
Yeah, I don't think anyone does.
Yeah.
You're a real psycho if you do. I've started to, but yeah, as I was saying, I think if you start ramping up your fast, because you start getting adapted a little bit to it, you know.
Oh yeah, I mean you can fast for like 24 hours at this point, you probably won't even notice it.
Have you ever done a prolonged?
The longest I've ever gone is like 24 hours.
So I've mixed in about 2 of those in a week.
Wow, okay. Yeah, I've heard that if you do that, that like significantly helps.
I don't know if it's helping, dude.
No, really?
No, I mean, I don't know if it's helping my mental.
Oh, your mental capacity?
It's definitely getting, my mental health.
24 hours is a big one. Like, I've done it a few times. I've gone from like 4 p.m. to 4 p.m. Like, I'll eat a huge meal at 4 p.m. Just wait till the next day at 4 p.m. 24 hours.
Yeah. So I wanna try a prolonged soon.
Like multi-day?
Like a 2-day.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen that a lot lately. People going on like 2-3 day fasts. I mean, I don't think I'm going to do that, but
Scary talk.
yeah.
There's a point you reach when you reach like the critical end of your fast where you feel like you don't feel stressed out. It's very weird.
Yeah.
Because your body just becomes so like primal. Like all you care about is just like food.
Yeah.
And focus.
Right.
So it's really weird when you reach that point because you're like, dude, wait, nothing literally matters.
Yeah. You just need some food.
Have you heard of the snake diet?
No. What's that?
You gotta look that up.
The snake
That'll be your
diet.
next product.
Yeah. Snake diet
The
brownies.
snake brownie.
What is that?
It's pretty much just like some guy. I don't know exactly what's in the concoction, but he creates this liquid which totally ramps up your fat loss, and like he does it for very obese people, and they'll drink a lot of snake fluid. Which I don't know.
Wow.
I'll have to show you after this. I got no clue.
Yeah, I've not heard of this.
But listen,
It's a diet or it's a product?
Actually, I don't even know.
All right, we can check it out.
We'll do it
after.
after. Hey, I had a great time.
Yeah, absolutely.
did
Wow,
you?
that was already an hour?
Yeah, probably about 56
That flew
minutes.
by. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thanks for having me on here.
I think we asked some good questions.
Hey, I'm Nick from Keto Brownie, and that was my golden hour.
Damn, that was well executed.
Yeah.
My dog, bro. Thank you,
It's
man.
that fasting, man.
Yes.